To the COVID-19 crisis now, the pandemic has affected every aspect of our lives, including the food sector. There isn't a food shortage. In some cases, there's too much of it. Producers in this country, from meat and seafood processors to potato farmers, are struggling. And as David Akin reports, some of that food is just going to get wasted.
Canada loves its French fries, but Canadians prefer to eat their fries in restaurants. And with restaurants closed or only doing takeout, Canadians are just not eating fries like they used to pre-pandemic. And that's a big problem for Canada's potato farmers, who still have millions of pounds of potatoes from last year's crop that they have not yet sold.
That's huge. Like, to our operation, it will be over half our gross income, which is, it will be close to $2 million that we would not realize.
Owen has 19 million pounds of potatoes stored on his farm, all of which would have been turned into French fries. But with the restaurant trade all but shut down, the freezers at French fry processors are full. They don't need any more potatoes. Meanwhile, what to do about this year's crop? Potatoes are typically planted right about now in early spring.
We're going to plant probably 15% less already. That's what their processors have told us to do. So, but there's no guarantee that if the economy doesn't turn around, that we'll be able to sell next year's crop, really.
And while Canada has too many potatoes, there could soon be shortages of beef, pork, and possibly seafood. A meat packing plant in High River, Alberta, that accounts for about 40% of Canada's beef has been shut after too many workers got sick with COVID-19. Other meat packers are also struggling to manage COVID-19 outbreaks. On Monday, a pork processing plant near Kitchener, Ontario, one that produces about 1/3 of the federally inspected pork in that province, is set to close for a week as plant owners deal with a COVID-19 outbreak there. Meanwhile, harvesters of fish and shellfish say they need urgent help to keep production levels up.
Harvesters are certainly interested in fishing, but they got to do it safely, and right now they're really unsure about if it can be profitable at all now.
Now, experts say Canada still has plenty of food, but they also caution that these supply chain problems could cause price spikes and shortages of some products. David Akin, Global News, Ottawa.
In the U.S., some states are starting to ease COVID-19 restrictions. Georgia, South Carolina, Oklahoma, and Alaska are all allowing some businesses to reopen. Colorado, Minnesota, Montana, Iowa, and Tennessee will begin easing restrictions this week. Stay-at-home orders for more than a dozen states are slated to expire by the end of the month. All of this is happening against the advice of health experts. As Jennifer Johnson explains, they believe the key to reopening the economy safely is testing.
With no social distancing and no masks, protesters across America are still sending out their message loud and clear. They fear personal bankruptcy more than COVID-19.
I decided to come out today because I want to rally for freedom over fear.
And we're shutting down the entire country for this. And it's just absurd. We're losing our freedom.
In Texas, Dallas salon owner Shelley Luther tore up a police citation she got after accepting customers. The governor doesn't plan to reopen non-essential businesses until April 30th.
I have rights. You have rights to feed your children and make income.
Federal health officials are trying to put the brakes on states reopening too soon and say social distancing measures should continue through the summer. They say new testing technology is needed to ensure everyone's safety.
We have to have a breakthrough innovation in testing. We have to be able to detect antigen rather than constantly trying to detect the actual live virus.
But Dr. Burke says those tests could be months away. Along with states, the Pentagon says it needs additional tests for those in national security, including military aboard soon-to-be deployed aircraft carriers. Defense leaders hope to increase testing from 7,000 a day to 60,000 by June. Meanwhile, governors are now battling a new problem, an uptick in calls to poison control centers after U.S. President Donald Trump made comments about injecting disinfectants into the body as a treatment for COVID-19.
When the person with the most powerful position on the planet is encouraging people to think about disinfectants, whether it was serious or not, people listen. And so we have seen an increase in numbers of people calling poison control.
Health officials are again warning people there is still no proven treatment or cure for COVID-19. Jennifer Johnson, Global News, Washington.
There's so much information surrounding coronavirus out there now. We know you have questions. Email your questions at globalnews.ca. Tune in to Global National or go to globalnews.ca/coronavirus now to find the answers.